Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Kelvin here. Once you start working, one of the most common financial advice that you will hear is got buy, got hope. Just kidding. Instead, it is always keep 3 to 6 months worth of expenses as emergency funds. But here's the problem. With inflation going to the moon recently, everything is becoming more and more expensive. Daiso has raised their prices. Eggs have become more expensive. Even chickens are about to become more expensive. How? Stay at home and eat grass? Oh, bad news, because even if you stay at home and eat grass, your electric bill is going up too. Meanwhile, your 6 months emergency funds is just sitting there like a lazy bum. So, in this video, I want to share 4 best places where you can put your emergency funds so that they can earn a bit of interest while you sleep. Then, I will also share one bonus tip about emergency funds that not many people talk about. But before I start, I would greatly appreciate it if you can help to tap the like button. In return, I will show you a bird wiggling around. Alright, let's start right now. Okay, before I share where to put your emergency funds, I will first talk about where not to put your emergency funds. First, absolutely don't put it in investments because investments can fluctuate. Since the start of this year till now, S&P 500 has already dropped by almost 20%, and that's already considered little. Teladoc lost 67%, Snapchat dropped by 70%, Coinbase 73%. So it will be counterproductive to put your emergency funds in investments. Second, don't put your emergency savings in stable coins. Someone called me a boomer because I mentioned there are risks to stable coins. Technically, I'm already a boomer, but that's not the point. The point is, in the end, stablecoins are cryptos, and cryptos are risky because they can easily go to zero. One famous stablecoin was UST, where you can put it in Anchor to earn 20% interest. Guess what? UST collapsed. Prior to that was the Iron stablecoin, which collapsed also, causing Mark Cuban to lose tons of money. So, never put your emergency funds in stablecoins. Otherwise, somebody gonna get hurt real bad. Okay, with those out of the way, let's talk about where to put your emergency funds. First, high interest savings account. This is the most basic method, and there are a few benefits to doing so. By putting money in the bank, you can immediately get the money whenever you want. And there's very little chance that Singapore banks will bankrupt and close shop. If it does, all of us have bigger things to worry about. And even if it does, our money is insured up to $75,000. So it's super duper safe. But the downside is that the interest is actually quite low, around 0.5%. Citi has a list of all the high interest savings accounts in Singapore. The way it works is that there's a very low base interest. Then the more criteria you fulfill, the more interest that you will get. For example, this is DBS multiplier. Let's say my monthly salary is $5,000 and I spend using DBS credit card. I will be getting a 0.5% interest, which is ain't much, but it's honest work. Another example is UOB One. If I spend at least $500 with their card and credit my salary into the account, I'll be getting 0.5% interest. Now, even though 0.5% may sound little, but it's still better than 0%. So, at the very least, put your money in a high interest savings account. Moving on, cash management accounts. Now, there are quite a few out there, and again, Citi has a list of them. By using cash management accounts, you get as low as 0.19% all the way to 2.7%. But on average, you can earn around 1%, which is definitely higher than a high interest savings account. Sounds very good, right? But hold up, there are a few downsides to doing so. First, you won't be able to get back the money instantly. For example, if you use Safe Cash Plus, the withdrawal time is 2 to 3 business days. Second downside, the interests are not guaranteed, and there's even a tiny chance that you might end up losing money. That's because they're actually investing your money in low-risk stuff like treasury bills and bond funds, which might give different returns depending on market conditions. For example, Safe Cash Plus, which gives around 1.2% interest, invests in Lion Global Money Market Fund and Lion Global Enhanced Liquidity Fund, both of which have been going up slow and steady from PP over the last 3 years. Meanwhile, Endowus Cash Smart has 3 different options, where you can earn a low 0.8% interest in secure, all the way to a super high 2.7% interest with Ultra. Then you'll be like, of course I want a higher interest, duh. But if you check the past returns, you will see that Enhanced and Ultra actually gave negative returns in some of the months. So here's my advice, it's better to put your emergency funds in lower interest options like StashAway Simple and Safe Cash Plus, where you can earn around 1% interest. Because earning lesser money is still better than losing money, yeah? Another advice, even though they are giving a higher interest than banks, don't go and all in your emergency funds into there, because there are a few days withdrawal time. At the very least, keep 1 or 2 months emergency funds in the bank, so that if you ever need the money immediately, you can first withdraw from the bank, yeah? Quick pause, just in case you haven't heard, Webull is the latest stockbroker in Singapore. With Webull, you can buy your US stocks, US options, and Hong Kong stocks for a low fee of $0. Yes, you heard that right. That's $0. They also have fractional shares, which lets you buy your stocks with just $5 Ambao money. Then, of course, you might be wondering, what's their welcome gift? I'm glad you asked. If you sign up with my link down below, deposit at least $2,000, then make 6 buy trades on either US stocks, ETFs, or options, you'll get $100 worth of Apple shares. This promotion ends on 30th June, yeah? With that being said, let's get back to the video. Third, insurance savings plan. When people hear about insurance, they'll be like, "Aye, need to pay money." But don't worry, for this, they're giving you money, specifically around 1.5% interest. There are 2 options here, Singtel Dashpad and Singlife. Let's go through them. Singtel Dashpad gives around 1.3% interest on your first $10,000. Anything above that will only earn 0.3% interest. The reason they are called insurance savings plan is because you can actually get insurance with this. If you activate the free insurance, you will get additional 0.2%, letting you earn a total of 1.5% interest on your first $10,000. The free insurance will cover you for death, total and permanent disability, and coverage of up to 5 times of your Dashpad account value, up to $10,000, and is only valid for the first year. If you want more coverage, you can choose from 3 protection plans: major cancer, accidental death, and total permanent disability. By doing so, you will receive 0.25% interest per insurance. So, assuming you get all 3, you will get up to 2.25% interest on your first $10,000. Now, you can withdraw from Singtel Dashpad anytime, but each withdrawal will cost 70 cents. So, don't anyhow happy withdraw, yeah? Second is Singlife, which gives 1% interest on your first $10,000, then 0.5% interest for your next $90,000. Also, if you spend at least $500 every month using the Singlife card, you will earn additional 0.5% interest till 31st December 2022. As for the insurance portion, you will get coverage for death and terminal illness, up to 105% for your account value. There's also a retrenchment coverage if you lose your job and remain unemployed for at least 4 months. Similar to Singtel Dashpad, Singlife also lets you withdraw money anytime. And best of all, there's no withdrawal fees. Personally, I feel that it's a good alternative to cash management accounts because first, the interest is fixed, and second, the withdrawal is instant. But just take note that interest can change anytime. For example, Singlife was giving a super high 2.5% interest, and now it's just 1%. Okay, the next method is Singapore Savings Bond, or SSB. Just in case you don't know what's that, basically it's just Singapore government bonds, and each bond will last around 10 years. The benefit is that the interest is actually quite high. For the May 2022 SSB, in the first year, you will get 1.43% interest. Then it will slowly go up to 2.71%. Over 10 years, the average return is 2.53%, which gives the highest return compared to all the other options that I mentioned just now. And right now, SSB's interest rates are actually going up too. In January, it was just 1.64%, and now it's already over 2%. But here's a big downside. It will take up to 1 month to get your money back. That's because every month, you can submit a redemption request from the first business day till the 4th last business day. then you will only get back the money the following month on the second business day. Also, if you redeem early, there will be a small $2 fee. Okay, even though it takes a long time to get back your money, I feel that you can still use this method. Because if you think about it, it's actually super duper rare that you will ever touch your emergency funds. For SSB, the longer you keep it there, the higher interest that you will earn. So what you can do is split your emergency funds into a few parts. For example, maybe put 2 months into a high interest savings account, 2 months in cash management accounts or insurance savings plans, then put the rest in SSB. That way, during an emergency, you get to use some money immediately while you wait up to 1 month for the rest of the money to come back. But just take note, this is what I would do. It may or may not apply to your situation. Emergency funds are super important when you need it. So don't just blindly follow my method. You need to adjust accordingly, yeah? Finally, here's my bonus tip. There's some very rare situation where you might end up having not enough emergency funds. So one common way that people would do is to sell their investments, usually at a loss, and get their money back. But it's possible to borrow money cheaply. First is through brokerage account. For example, this is my IBKR broker. You can see that I don't have any HG to withdraw because all of my money is in USD now. But I can withdraw up to $103,000 using margin. However, the risk of doing so is that if your portfolio value drops too much, you will be margin called and they will sell your stocks. As to how much you can withdraw, check out this video where I let you know how much you can withdraw before you get margin called. Each broker charges different interest on margins. For example, IBKR is 2.33%, while Moomoo charges 4.8%. Okay, the second method is Revolut. That's because you can actually top up Revolut using a credit card, then transfer the money back to your bank account. The benefit of doing so is that you have up to 25 days after the statement date before you need to pay back the money. But as you might imagine, there's a super big risk to doing so, because if you can't pay back on time, credit cards will charge around 25% interest, which is really bad. So only use this method if you are super duper confirm plus chop sure that you can pay back the money before the statement is due. So anyway, that was the bonus tip. Hopefully now, your emergency funds won't just sit in the bank like a lazy bum bum. But what other ways do you know of? Let me know down below. Like, share and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday.